In this video I'll be demonstrating how to belay a lead climber on a trad route. By the time we come to belay a lead climber, we're generally quite experienced at belaying on a top or bottom rope, and it's assumed that we know how to belay someone. There are, however, some subtle differences between belaying a lead climber and belaying on a top or bottom rope. Leader falls generate higher forces, which are shared between the rope, the equipment, the leader and the belayer. So we need to take this into account when we're belaying a lead climber. It's particularly important to prepare your rope by flaking it and protect your rope by using a rope bag. The belayer should always tie on when belaying a lead climber, A, so that they'll be ready to climb, and B, so that they can belay from their rope loop. This introduces more dynamic rope into the system, which is important to absorb the higher forces generated in a leader fall. Before the leader starts, check each other's knots and harnesses are fastened securely. Once the leader starts climbing, moving close to the base of the climb and spot the climber until they place their first piece of gear. Spotting stops and belaying starts once the first piece of gear has been clipped. The belayer will then pay out the rope as the climber needs it, when they're clipping and when they're moving, and hold the rope still when they're putting gear in or pausing for a rest. The belayer pays out slack with a hand on either side of the belay device and then slides the hand back down the rope to feed out more. Because a fall can happen at any time, a backup hand can be placed on the rope when the other hand is sliding down to reach for more rope. This backup hand would hold a fall far better than a sliding hand on its own. With practice, this can be done quite quickly, as it's important not to hinder a climber's progress by having too tight a rope. Sometimes the belayer must take the rope back in. To do this, a hand is placed on either side of the belay plate, and the backup hand brought back when the hand needs to slide back up the rope. It's important to do this transfer of hands when the rope is locked off. Once the leader has clipped to their anchors, they then shout safe. The belayer can then take them off belay. So in summary, always tie on and belay from your rope loop. Position yourself close into the wall. Spot the leader to the first piece of gear. And observe the climber at all times. Always keep hold of the dead rope. Only change hands when the rope is in the locked off position. And make sure that the rope isn't too slack or too tight for the leader. This video is intended to refresh previously learned skills and not replace the need for proper instruction. If you are unsure, please seek further advice.